People were literally buying a few bundles of wood at a time, because either they didn't have the space, but probably more so they didn't have the money to Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Travis Does Firewood. I'm here in my firewood stand. Not much has changed the last few days. I need to add more of my business cards, but this is all going to change, this whole front, soon. So I'll have another video on that. I'm working with my logo guy, Jonathan, over at Ruckus, to add some more, so to make this look more professional. So stay tuned on an episode on that. But I wanted to talk to you today about community service. Firewood is definitely a commodity. People need it. A lot of people don't have electric or propane or gas, not propane, gas, natural gas heaters in their homes, and they rely on wood. Wood is a very amazing resource. Definitely a different type of heat. You really can't explain it unless you've experienced wood heat before, versus electrical heat or gas heat. It's amazing how the feel of it. The warmth is something different other than the other types of heat of heat that you can get out there. So, but not everyone can afford firewood, especially large quantities. When you're talking about cords of wood and inflation right now, people are selling cords of wood for upwards of like $400, $500 plus a cord, and that could be like softwood, which will go up in a heartbeat. Or they don't have the space for a full cord, or even like a third of a cord, a faced cord. So what I have done, I know that I have in my hometown, which is very affluent, that community, there are some low-income neighborhoods in my hometown, and the firewood stand provides wood in smaller quantities, therefore it's cheaper, and people come. I know the first few winters I sold a lot, and I got a few thank you notes in my cash box saying thank you. Your firewood stand kept us warm. People were literally buying a few bundles of wood at a time, because either they didn't have the space, but probably more so they didn't have the money to buy a large amount of wood. So they would buy wood as they needed it, as they had a few bucks in their pocket. Now, with the customers that I've talked to in person, verbally, I say I'm not concerned. I want to trust my neighbors. If you can't afford wood, come by, take what you need, stay warm, leave me a note, say I'll pay you back by X day. Just to keep the communication flow open. You know where I live, obviously, so you can pop in and pay in the cash box or Venmo when you have money. It's people that take wood and steal it and they'll leave you a note and don't pay me back. Those are people that I don't like. The people that can't afford it, I'll work with you. So people do come by, they buy wood as they need it, which is great. And it's a win-win situation. They get the wood as they need it at a cheaper cost than going to the local hardware store or grocery station, and I get paid. Now, the other way, so that's kind of like a community service a little bit, even though I'm still making money. Now, the other way I provide a service to my local community is I'm a part of a local Buy Nothing group in my neighborhood, in my hometown. I'm sure many of you have heard of it. I think it's usually only on Facebook, and it's in your neighborhood where you live, and it's people giving away certain items or asking for things when they can't afford it or want to see if they can get it for free first online to ask their neighbors. and people share, they give, etc. They borrow things as well. So it's a good community. So I asked the admins a few years ago, can I ask for donations from our local neighborhood, cash donations, and then I collect them, and then I put a post, so a post to ask for donations on this group, and then and in that same post say, if you are in dire need of firewood, let me know, or if you know of a household that is in dire need of firewood, let me know. So the people who donate funds to me, either they drop it off my cash box or Venmo me or whatever it is, a check, and where I live, I'll cash it, and then I'll have that money in hand. And when I know of mosquitoes, when I know of a family or a person in need, I will deliver them, because it's in my local community. I don't mind delivering locally for free. I would deliver them what it would normally cost at my firewood stand, the X amount of money that they probably. So for example, I give them one rack of wood, and that's usually about $20. So I give them one rack of wood, I deliver it to their home, they have that wood, and that money would go into the cash fund from the firewood stand. So I'm just like the middleman, I guess, kind of like, say, right? So I get paid by the person in the community to donate to Giving Wood. I take the money, and instead of that person getting the firewood, I give the firewood away to a family or household in need. And I try to stretch it out so it's not the same household getting it each time, and that tended to work. This year I haven't had anything donated, but I think it's a good business model. I mean, granted, I feel that I'm a nice person and would do this anyway. And with the firewood business or side hustle that I have created with my wife, we do donate at least another, I think, like $100 ish of firewood to someone, and that would just be like us giving away free wood as opposed to getting paid for it and then donating it, right? So we do give back to the local community, people who are literally going into the woods and burning bark and leaves, or like burning garbage in their fireplace, which is not healthy, not good, and does not provide a good enough heat source, really. So that's kind of like the community service model or approach that I've thought about, created, and it tends to work out. Then I get more business at my firewood stand because people know me in the community to want to buy firewood from me, or they're more apt to recommend me or refer me to another person who's looking out for firewood. So even that model is like a win-win. They kind of like really cheap PR for yourself. So I just like a quick episode, whatever you can do, I think, to market your business or your side hustle of selling firewood. I think it's money in the bank, especially like the ROI on it doesn't take much time, especially when you're selling at a local firewood stand, where people can come and go, and with small quantities. I mean, it's not like I'm talking about like the people are donating hundreds of dollars, or I'm collecting hundreds of dollars and I'm delivering full cords. Now there's a guy in my community who owns a local gas station. He would get donated wood from people, usually usually it would be like tree service wood, and it was dumped in his driveway, and he would get donated like help, or people would come with their chainsaws or splitters or their axes, and people would come and they would split up and process firewood, and he had this gigantic mound of firewood in his driveway. And what he would do is he would solicit referrals of from the local community, people, usually vets, usually vets who couldn't afford or weren't able physically to get firewood, and he would deliver the firewood locally to people in need. So I heard about this and I contacted him. There was like he had he had an assistant helping him, and my best friend, his mom was in the armed forces. So and she's not doing too good. So I contacted him and he delivered a cord of wood to her. Granted, it wasn't the greatest looking wood, but it was free, and I'm pretty sure it was seasoned too, which is awesome. So and that's a great service to him. But then the city gave him a hard time that the pile of wood was an eyesore or wasn't like permitted within city limits or some other nonsense. So the guy had to like stop what he was doing and like reevaluate. I think he still does giving away cords of wood with his setup, but I don't know where he does it. He doesn't do it in his driveway anymore, because I drive by it sometimes and it's no longer, the big pile of wood isn't there. So maybe he has another property that he does it. I'm not sure, but that's like free. Like that's like donated time and money, which is a great model too. And he definitely has a reputation in the community. Whereas, granted, most of my wood that I get is free, but I could donate my time a little bit. But when I'm collecting wood, when I'm splitting, when I'm stacking, that time is free until I sell the wood, and that's when I cash in. So for me, having this be a side hustle, I need to make some money on the wood. So to solicit donated funds from people, and then I take that money in return, I give wood to people in need. I think that's a win-win model for all parties involved. And it doesn't seem too shady, too unethical. People they know what they're getting into. And sorry, when I do deliver the wood to people, the person who donated the money for the wood, it's all anonymous. Like the people who gave me the money, and I know who gets the wood, but the person who gets the wood and gave the money don't know each other in terms of the name. They just know someone in the local neighborhood, right? But when I deliver the firewood, I take a picture of it and I send it to the person who donated the money, so they know that it happened, how much wood it was, and that it was legit, as opposed to just me taking the money and then they had no confirmation that I actually gave the wood away. It's more of like a trust thing where they're gonna trust me to actually donate firewood for free and not take in another sum of money and make double, if that makes sense. So I hope some of you are thinking about where you X amount of cords of wood or bundles or X amount of money that would equal wood, that you are able to give that away or sell at a discount to families and people in need that can't afford a $500 cord of wood. It's just outside the budget, but they can't afford a few bundles of wood, but that's only going to last them maybe a few days. So that's how I in my household does our firewood with community service. A big thing for me is wanting to trust my neighbors, because I do have a firewood stand. Yes, I mentioned before, I do have theft, and usually the theft is during the winter time when people are in dire need. But when I do talk to customers in person and they ask about the firewood stand and say it's really cool, and they ask about theft or sales, I do say that I do have theft. But if it's during the winter time, I'd rather have people be warm for a night and me be out $5-10, because most of the wood that I get, I don't pay for wood. This wood here, this is tree service wood. Granted, it's huge, and massive, and there's some metal in these 2 rounds at least, but it's free, and it was delivered for free. You can't pass up free. So when I get wood stolen, or I give it away for free, or a discount to people, I'm only out my time and the wear and tear of my equipment and gas and oil. So it's not that big of a deal. I mean, granted, the theft does add up over time. I think this past year, thus far, I'm probably out at least $50 worth of wood that was stolen, and that was probably earlier in the year, at the tail end of last winter. So it's not like I'm buying like triaxle or like truckloads of wood, and I'm that and doing so that would literally eat into my profits. That part I'm not doing, right? So it's all free, at least for me. But the time is what was mostly valuable and stolen. So in this video, nothing physical, just a walk around the yard with all the leaves. I have leaves everywhere. I think I'm going to, up on here on the roofs, I think I'm going to start to blow the leaves down, because they sit on there and then it collects water and then it starts to leak through. So I'm gonna blow off the top of the roof line soon, at least once, probably twice. I'm not sure what to do with the yard, but yeah, so this is a no work video, just explaining how we do community service here with Firewood. I think that since firewood is such a sought after commodity in many houses in my area, and I'm sure in your area too, it's something that we should consider to not just give away for free, but to helping our neighbors in those in need. Maybe you have a specific focus you want to focus on. Maybe you want to give away wood to veterans, which is great. You want to give wood away to the single moms, whatever demographic you want to pick, or just anyone who says, I can't afford firewood, can you give me whatever, like a few bundles, a rack, maybe like a face cord, whatever you can give away. And it's not like, I mean, I guess if you had a business or firewood and was legit like LLC, you could write it off in your taxes after X amount of money that you would give away, a firewood giveaway. But I mean, I'm a side hustle, so it's something that I can't promote on a website, or I mean maybe on social media, but it's more like a feel good, warm inside, that I'm helping my local community make sure that people are warm. So yeah, again, so nothing working today, just a video to kind of explain how I go about community service with my firewood stand. So stay warm, everyone, and keep on cutting, be safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.